Hello, and now it's time for lesson three. And looking at the powers of the president, we're going to wrap up two more roles of the president, and that should do it. So this time, we're going to talk about the president being the head of state and also the president as the leader of their political party. So, first, let's just talk about the party leader because that's a little, self explanatory. The president was nominated by a political party, and once they accept that nomination, until a new nominee comes along, they're seen as the de facto head, the face, the representation of their political party throughout the election, and if they get elected, past the election. President Obama, from the time he was nominated, was seen as the face of the Democratic Party. President Trump is now seen as the face of the Republican Party. They are associated with it, and they use the power of the bully pulpit, which we talked about in the last lesson, to try to push forward the agenda of his or her party, to propose initiatives, laws, bills, things that align themselves with the platform of their political party that came from the convention and their core beliefs, which helped them get nominated by their political party. So they have a responsibility to their party. You'll see, most likely, if it's a during an election year, the president won't just campaign for themselves. They'll be campaigning for gubernatorial, congressional candidates from their political party to try to help them get elected. And the more people in from their party, the more it helps them get their agenda through. Now to our last role, the president, the head of state. As the president of the United States, you are a symbol of our country, just like Uncle Sam, whose hat you see here, or Statue of Liberty, the White House, Liberty Bell, American flag. The president of the United States is seen at home and around the world as a symbol of our country. That you represent the United States before all other countries. You negotiate on our behalf. You're able to negotiate treaties, economic, military, alliances. You are America's top diplomat. You are America's ambassador to the world. As a symbol of our country, you're turned to in times of joy and times of sadness to represent us, for better or for worse. When America needs someone to lean on, a shoulder to cry on, the president is expected to be there. So let's look at some images I feel that kind of capture this idea of America as first as our top diplomat. Here we see President Trump meeting leaders from Egypt and Saudi Arabia and many other countries. As our top diplomat, he's in charge of negotiating. He's a negotiator in chief and meeting with leaders of other countries to try to set up stronger alliances, to try to end or begin economic agreements. That's a large part of what the president's job as the head of state entails. But also when people are frustrated or angry with their country, often it's the president who's seen as the symbol of what they're frustrated with. Here you see protesters in London, England, protesting our government's policies, but really directing that protest, their frustration, with our president, because the president is seen once again as a symbol of our country all around the world. The idea of the president being leaned upon in times of struggle and times of sadness, I think was best captured by President George W. Bush. After the 9/11 attacks, our country was in shock, was in pain, and he had to be the counselor to griever in chief. Here you see him meeting with first responders at Ground Zero, standing on the rubble with first responders just days after the attacks, saying that, I hear you, and the people that did this are going to hear from all of us, trying to rally or cheerlead America through its darkest times. When you are president, you don't know what difficult situations you're going to have to deal with. And as president, you kind of have to rally people. Here you see the president here throwing the first pitch at the World Series in 2001. Once again, seen as trying to build America back up, get us back on our feet. That's an important part of being the head of state, not just representing America to the world, but to every American here within our country. And that is why when there's something good to report or there's something positive, the president's often on the forefront. Related to 9/11, when Osama bin Laden was brought to justice, it was the president who brought that news to Americans. Because as the head of state, you kind of have to direct Americans and help Americans uh, and guide them through times of sadness and times of joy. So, I think that this ideal of the president as the negotiator in chief, as the head of state, as the face of America around the world, and diplomacy is best captured by Theodore Roosevelt's description of his diplomacy as speak softly and carry a big stick, and you will go far. So, what I'd like you to do is, for your question, what do you think that Roosevelt meant when he described diplomacy in that way? To speak softly, but to carry a big stick. And what strategy is more important in dealing with foreign governments, with dealing with the rest of the world? Is it the speaking softly, or is it the carrying the big stick? Let me know what you think. I look forward to talking with you in class and reading your answers on Edmodo. Thanks for watching.